Hey everyone, it's Jen with ChappyPlans. Thanks for joining me for Project Life Week 25. If you'd like to see what I'm going to do, stick around. What's up, friends? It's Jen with ChappyPlans. Thanks for joining me for this video. I am working in my Project Life album for week 25. So crazy, one more week till we're halfway through the year. My friend just posted on Instagram that there are like 6 months until Christmas, and I can't even think about that. So I'm showing you all the products I'm going to be using. They are mostly Ali Edwards. Some of the embellishments are just random items that I have, but a lot of these are from my Stories by the Month kits. So I'm going to speed up the camera and get going. So I'm going to start with the title card. I was going to alternate letters, but then I forgot that I wanted to use this heart die cut and the little sun there. So I just decided to use light pink, and I think it turns out really cute because that red is almost too bright. And I love the stripes on the vellum. That was kind of my jumping off point for deciding, well, actually, no, I lied. It's the 3x4 pocket card on the bottom left of the screen that was my jumping off point for the rest of the spread and the colors that I chose and the embellishments that I chose. So I love that on the summer list and just the colors in the card. So I'm going to put week, and these are all like meant to be speech bubbles, but I cut off all the little like tails on them because I don't like that look. These foam stickers are from Citrus Twist Kits, and then the alphas are from Studio Calico. Otherwise, everything else on that card so far is from Ali Edwards. These are puffy stickers by American Greetings I got at Target. These other puffy stickers like that are like the Starburst type shape there are Ali Edwards, and then the other puffy stickers that I use to embellish are from Vicky Bouton's Wear to Next collection. They're some of my favorites, just to add a little something to my cards. I realized I forgot to stamp the date on there, like the days for week 25, so I will go back and do that in just a minute once I get all these little stickers on the vellum here. And it's hard for me not to over embellish. I feel like I definitely am an over embellisher, which is fine, but I felt like I could just go on and on and on and on and keep adding and adding, so I have to kind of like restrain myself. One thing I do like doing every week on some of these cards is adding a little faux stitched border around the edge of the card. I feel like it kind of, I don't know, brings it all together and makes it look cohesive. So I'm just going to use my Sarasa Dry gel pen, which is actually one of my favorites to write with, to draw the border around the outside of this card. And eventually it will dry, but I don't even want to mess with it. So I'm just going to slide it in the pocket and not touch it. This week was kind of crazy. It's Nora's last full week of school, and it was also during Juneteenth, which obviously is a holiday that the kids do not have school on. So the night before, we set up her water slide and we cleaned it off, and that's her just sitting on it before we cleaned it. And it was also insanely hot here in upstate New York, which is not something we're used to. Like 95-degree weather is not really something that we deal with regularly, and it was very hot for several days. So we knew that we were going to want to put this up and leave it up. So I just journaled on it that we were putting up the water slide for the first time this year, and it was fun until it wasn't, because I'm going to journal about later on that evening on the June 3 Things card, and also on the 4x6 card that will be on the right side of the spread about Nora hurting herself. But I'll get to that in a minute. Right now you're just going to see I added these word phrase strips to this photo, and I forget about it on the right side, so I have to go back and do that later. But this one says happy in this moment, and then a few little puffy stickers. And then that evening was when she injured herself and we had to go to urgent care. So she was doing a flip on the trampoline, but also holding a bouncy ball and trying to throw it at my husband, who was talking to our neighbor across the fence. Both myself and my husband were right there when it happened, and she fell on her head. And it was so scary because it was one of those cries where it was like, something's wrong with your kid. Like, it's not just like I have a paper cut or I you know, stub my toe cry. It was like something is very wrong and she's scared. And I have OCD, so like immediately think, oh my God, she like is paralyzed, she can't move. And she was so upset, she was too scared to move her head. So we couldn't ask her, you know, can you turn your head left or right? Because she couldn't even, she just was like, stop talking. She was making no sense. It was a whole thing. And eventually we got her to calm down enough that we got her to be able to move her head left to right, and we're able to get her, you know, coax her off of the trampoline because it's covered with a net, right? So like it's not like I can just go and pick her up off of it. Plus I didn't want to pick her up in case she was really hurt. Oh my gosh, it was so scary. So called, you know, her doctor on call. They said go to a place where she can get an x-ray. So fortunately, literally 2 seconds around the corner is an urgent care with an x-ray machine. So we told them what happened. We were there for a while, and it turned out she most likely just bruised her sternum. So she's been okay since. She's just been, you know, it's been hard for her to like take deep breaths, laugh, you know, too much, or bend her body certain ways and things like that, which has been tough for her. But her friend Georgia, who's in this picture here, was coming over the next night, since Wednesday was this Juneteenth. So her friend Georgia came to sleep over, and Nora wasn't sure if she was going to be able to use the water slide, but she did. Fortunately, sitting up for her wasn't a problem. It's more like holding her breath or taking deep breaths, or, you know, anything that would jolt her chest too much, or create like force where she'd be hitting her chest. So she could do the water slide. So I have a couple of pictures there of the girls outside on the porch. It was so hot. I read while they played on the water slide. And that's what I'm journaling about, like the insanely hot weather, and just how the two of them hanging out was like a preview of tween years to come, because, you know, they haven't hung out in a while, and they've both grown a lot. So it was like quite a, I don't know, like a fast forward for me into seeing what they will be like in just a couple years, even, because the amount of growth the two of them have had emotionally and socially just was insane to me, because they, like I said, they haven't hung out in like probably a good year or so. But they had a lovely time. It was a great sleepover, no issues. And yeah, they had a really fun day in that crazy weather while I sat there on the back porch reading. All right, so what I'm journaling about on the June 3 things card that I cut out, I always cut out my journaling for the most part, is about it being her last month as a third grader, and how crazy that is, how I launched Patreon in June, and our first major scare with her landing on her head on the trampoline. And this on the summer list card, I'm going to journal as well about June just being an insanely busy month as PTA president, because there's kindergarten graduation, orientation, color run, fifth grade graduation, fifth grade dance, field day, end of the year program, like just to name a few of the things just in this month. And also talking about how we gave Nora's bedroom a glow up, and water slide and pool fun. And then also on the summer list is our trip to Michigan, which we are leaving for tomorrow at the time that I'm filming this. And then the 4x6 photo is just of Nora and Georgia in our neighbor's pool that same Wednesday that they used the water slide. Our backyards are very close together, and our neighbors were kind enough to invite Nora and Georgia to swim, and also had their granddaughter and a friend over in the pool. So the four of them swam and played. Nora couldn't really swim. Like I said, taking a deep breath wasn't going to be a thing for her, but she did, you know, at least get to go in the water and stuff and hang out with the girls, which was fun for her. And I just embellished it with the heart that said good times, and some puffy stickers, and the yes please word phrase strip. The one of Nora and Georgia on the flip up photo says good stuff, and the chipboard piece says such a lovely day, just in case you miss those little details. But yeah, we started Patreon. ChappyPlans has a Patreon. I'm so excited about it. I have a few patrons. I would love more, obviously. There are 3 tiers, and I have a video in my description box always linking you to my introduction video that is extremely nerve-wracking. So I hope you'll take a look. Appreciate you guys even entertaining the idea if that's something that you decide to check out. So here are the close-ups of the finished side of the spread. Hopefully you can see all the detail there with the little puffy stickers and the embellishments and the journaling. So fun. And then on the right, I'm going to start with this picture is of the end of the year morning program, which was in the afternoon. So end of the year afternoon program, I guess, where it was like an hour assembly and there's a slideshow and, you know, they do all the things they normally do in their morning program, which is a monthly thing at her school. But this time they also do the ceremonious thing where they have like all the grades sit according to their grade level and with their class. So like, you know, pre-K sits in the front, kindergarten first, second, third, fourth, then fifth. And at the very last morning program assembly every year, they have all the kids stand up class by class, grade by grade, and move back. So like, you know, Nora's third grade class will stand up and move to back to where fourth graders were sitting, and so on and so forth. So Nora's always really excited about that, and I put the little orange star there right next to her so I could see her in that photo in that sea of students. Also, it was like 93 degrees, and that was the gym where the windows don't open and there was no AC, so we were dying. So that's why I put that puffy sun there. And then I'm going to journal on this card. Of course, I do that off camera, but I'm talking about just Monday being crazy about her injury, and then how I'm feeling overwhelmed with all the end of the year school things, also planning, you know, our trip to Michigan and having to get all this content done. And then this picture was Friday night. There was a birthday party these two girls were both invited to, so Nora and Tessa hasn't come over in quite a while, and it's kind of one of those friends that we have tried to encourage Nora to like befriend, but maybe not be best friends with for just certain reasons that I'm not comfortable discussing here, but just but she was a sweet girl and was totally fine. Her mom had reached out and asked if I would take her to the party and bring her back. So we were able to do that. So we did. And I treated them to boba, and Nora, you know, we took her to get some food before the party because she obviously can't eat pizza with her celiacs. And this is a couple of photos of the girls who were at the party. And I created a flip up because I just couldn't decide between the two photos. I couldn't get them all to smile, but I said, everybody say Nora farted. So they're like, oh my God, they were just cracking up. So I had to include both of those pictures because that's why the birthday girl there, Fiona, Nora's friend, has her hands around her mouth and she's saying, Nora farted. And Nora's looking at the camera like, wait, what? And it was a very late birthday party. Like, it didn't start till 7, which is crazy because Nora is normally in bed by like 8:39. Although we've been letting her stay up later and later, which she absolutely loves. She's like floored at the fact that she got to stay up so late that night. So Matt and I went to dinner while they were at the party. So we snuck in a little date there. We went to this Chinese restaurant that was delicious, and walked around just a bit before coming back to the party. And I'm glad we came back a little early before the party ended because not only did we get to have cake, but we also got to chat with some of the other parents who were there who are also like acquaintances of ours, which was really nice. It was great to just kind of be social together. So I'm just talking about all those things on this Moments to Remember card, which I believe is from last year's like September or August Stories by the Month kit. And then that details embellishment on the front, that die cut I cut down and just in parentheses wrote, say Nora farted, and then used a word phrase strip that says smile because obviously that's hilarious. And then the last photo is of our friends on Sunday at church becoming ordained pastors. So our church is actually moving from one lead pastor to 5 pastors who have equal authority and various gifts of their own. So that's incredibly exciting and a historical moment that I really am excited about and was so thrilled to be able to witness and just be there for my friends. So I just embellished it very simply. I just journaled briefly about, you know, moving from to a 5 pastor-led team in church, and I picked that celebrating chipboard. I don't know what that came from Allie Edwards, and then the word phrase sticker that says, oh, happy day. And then all I do on this last little decorative card here with the sun is add those faux stitched marks, and that's going to complete the entire spread. That one card in the middle row there that's all journaling is just talking about all the things that we did for Nora's bedroom. We gave her a bedroom glow up, and we're completely redoing her room. So on top of all the other million things I have going on, why not throw in redoing a bedroom out of nowhere? It worked out that way for lots of different reasons, and Nora's room is way too grown up looking, and it's just super cute. I will show pictures at some point, but we are not finished yet. So until it's not finished, I can't show the final reveal. Not that you really know what her room looked like before, but I wanted to journal about all the things pertaining to her bedroom glow up. So it's gonna be like blush pinks and boho vibes, like lots of macrame, wall hangings, in decor, and white furniture. So it used to be very, very bright and rainbow and unicorn and all that kind of stuff. So it's much more mature preteen slash teen bedroom, and my heart is not ready for it. But that aside, here are close-ups of the finished right side of the spread. Do me a favor and give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, subscribe if you're not, and be sure to hit the bell so you don't miss my content. Also, check out my Patreon link, and I will see you guys in the next video. Take care, friends, and remember that you are enough. Bye.